provide the foundational underpinnings of this knowledge that you'd expect someone with an MBA qualification to have. But they're doing all of that in the context of the industry project that they're facing and the industry project that they're doing. They have responsibility for the areas aligned to those subjects that they're studying and receiving lectures and academic support on with their company as well. So the way that we retain that multidisciplinary approach is that if you have, say, 6 students working with National Australia Bank, 2 of those students will be in their third project, doing the three subjects aligned to that area, 2 in their second project, and 2 in their first, but they're working together in a singular group of 6 students. So that means the students are covering all of the different areas required to solve that problem. So they've got different areas of ownership and responsibility, but it also creates a genuine collaborative environment, which is where students are getting the opportunity to focus on innovation by solving these problems, but also on leadership as they progress through the course. They get increasing responsibility within their groups, and they're mentoring and leading the students that have come into the course at a latter stage. So what we've managed to achieve in an online environment, which is one of the other areas that we're obviously focused on, how do you teach collaboration and leadership through MBAs online, where most courses just get students to engage with their laptop. We've actually created a genuine problem-solving collaborative environment where students are still able to achieve those goals.
Cool. And in terms of the delivery of the content, it used to be incredibly innovative to do this stuff online, but just about everybody's got online options now. How are you guys managing the technology of online remote delivery?
So, I mean, yes, most providers do have online provision, but this is still sort of a significant area where Australia is quite behind the curve, and many of the university or education institutions don't have a great deal of expertise in delivering online materials in an engaging manner. And so, typically that's taking traditional courses which have been delivered in the offline space and moving them online. And that is demonstrably effective in terms of student progression rates, student completion rates, and the actual academic and professional outcomes they're getting from those courses. So we have our own bespoke online learning management system, which we've designed and get tremendous feedback on. We have a variety of different learning materials which have been designed bespoke for the online environment. Our global leaders faculty, which gives us a great deal of very rich video content, which is very industry relevant, is supported by animated key concept videos, various academic materials, a great deal of video and variation. And then on the other side, the number of touch points and actual live experiences that students have is a very significant part of the course. So that's the delivery of online webinars, which is in a really interactive seminar method where students are able to engage directly with their academics or other industry experts that we bring in to run the session, ask questions, receive feedback directly. Or if students are after a more flexible experience, all of these live sessions are recorded and they can engage with them online and have forums and direct email and phone lines through to their academics and the student support teams to be able to get a lot of that support which is often missing from the online space.
Cool. How do you sort of, I know when I was doing my MBA, one of the most valuable parts of having doing it sort of in a classroom environment was that sort of experiential learning, the free flowing conversation, the ability to break up into groups easily and that sort of stuff. How do you replicate that in an online environment?
Yeah, absolutely. So we think that this is one of the fundamental issues with people doing online MBAs, is that how do they get that sort of fundamentally collaborative experience, how do they get that peer-to-peer learning, and how do they get the opportunity to collaborate and lead other people, which is what an MBA education effectively should be about. And so our project-based model means that students from day one to graduation are in project teams. So they are having online project meetings on a several times
just to add to that, Matt, again, agreeing with everything that Jack's saying, and I think the proof is really in the pudding, and the proof is there in, I think, a couple of ways. One is the graduation rate of our students, which are just exceptionally high, and the satisfaction rates, which would be industry leading, but also the fact that we had students from many universities who have actually switched from their previous university to the University of Canberra MBA. And the reason for that is basically exactly what you were just touching upon in your question, that if you don't have collaboration and peer-to-peer support and interaction and that free flow of ideas, you're really missing a fundamental part of the learning experience. And there are providers out there where essentially you can get sent folders in the mail or have access via the internet to materials, and as long as you submit your assignments, you're pretty much going to get graded and get a qualification at the end. You might technically get an MBA, but we would say you're missing out on very fundamental parts of the learning process. And that's why students who come to some of the industry-led events that Jack was referring to see the quality of collaboration and interaction, and then drop out of what would have been regarded as some of the most highly ranked and prestigious universities in the country, but feeling like what the UC program offers is something that is just much more rich and tangible.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit of how the type with UC happened.
How it happened?
Yeah, how and why it happened.
Okay, so that's a good question. So, we're very privileged in that we have hundreds of world leaders from just all different segments of industry from all around the world who students learn from. So I can give you an example. One of those world leaders is the global head of Boston Consulting Group. And one of the things he talks about is, understanding your segment of specialisation along the value chain, and really focusing on what you do best as an organisation, and then collaborating rather than trying to do a lot of things mediocre, really focusing on being globally expert and best at what you do. So we strongly believe in that. And so we're not a university. We've never intended to accredit anything that we work on. We partner with universities in Australia and abroad. And the reason for that is that we focus very much on building that industry relevance and industry engagement with corporations and government departments and world leaders for very rich industry relevant, industry connected learning materials. And then the university has the academic expertise, the compliance, the accreditation. So it's a great marriage of the traditional, solid historical university with an innovative, disruptive, modern company. And we think that's a fantastic collaboration, because either on their own is not enough. I mean, you could just do non-accredited short courses by, an innovative early stage company, but we think that's also missing a lot of the fundamentals and the underpinning knowledge and the academic rigour. On the other hand, you could just go to a traditional university, but it's probably going to be, behind the eight ball in terms of not up to date, because their processes and lead times are just simply too long to be innovative and progressive enough. And so that collaboration works fantastically well for both of us.
Yeah. We're just heading back again to the to the delivery. Where do you see that developing over the content delivery? How do you see that developing over the next few years in terms of the technology? What sort of technology are you guys looking at to improve?
Sorry, Jack, were you going to...
After you, Matt.
Yep.
So some of the things that we're doing already are quite progressive, so we're always trying to stay at the forefront. So we were, if not the first, one of the first to create Lightboard series lectures, which are a very interactive delivery method that was developed out of MIT as part of the learning process. The quality of videos even that we do, we talk about videos and some people think, oh, okay, so it's probably like watching YouTube videos. No one in the higher education world that we know of does the quality of production we do. We essentially are building like documentaries with film crews and editing and post-production. Then we do animations. We do power slide decks and obviously the live webinars in a very interactive format. So we're constantly looking at how to make the technology work as effectively as possible, but always keeping in mind that technology isn't the answer, it's the means to the end. The answer is learning the skills that are relevant and are going to help people in their careers, and then what technology is the best way to enable that. So the reason I mentioned that is one of the things that's really important for us, and if I gave you a login to our system and you played around with it, which you're welcome to do, we wouldn't give you any instruction on how to use our learning management system because it's designed to be incredibly user-friendly and intuitive, designed well and really easy for students to use. Contrast that with most learning management systems within traditional universities, and they're dull, poorly designed, clunky, difficult to use. You know, students need a lot of support in getting up to speed on how to use them. And our design thinking was sending a login to a student where they effectively need no training because it's so easy to use and so intuitive and so well designed. So, you know, that's something that we're, you know, constantly, you know, always looking at and thinking about in terms of, you know, being as up to date as possible. We don't think that technology should be the focus. We think the focus should be on integrating with industry, like real projects with real organisations, and learning from the world's best people. So even our academics, that obviously you have a lot of academics in the program,